Hi everybody, this is Debbie here. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are in the world. So would you like to have a much more positive, tranquil experience of life and be able to make really good, positive decisions on a much more regular basis? Would you like to be able to find solutions to your problems in a much more immediate way? Well, one of the ways we can do this is by learning the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is something that happens in an instant. It is driven by our biases, our beliefs, our prejudices within our unconscious mind. It is a survival defense mechanism that is built inside of all of us. So when we are feeling uncomfortable or scared, we are able to be pushed out of that situation. However, we're not always having a car coming at us at 100 miles an hour or having somebody burgle our house, which is all fine to be able to react very quickly. But our lives are filled with stress, so we're actually in a much more reactive way when we're dealing with situations in life instead of responding. So when we're reacting all the time, it's a very disempowering feeling. It isn't something that brings out the authentic side of us. And when we react to a situation, all solutions and possibilities are shut down. Imagine it like a nuclear explosion. You cannot even imagine in that moment when that bomb goes off what kind of repercussions and ramifications of the fallout of that explosion. And a lot of times we do explode. We explode because we're angry, we're frustrated, we're being treated unfairly, we're being humiliated, we're being falsely accused. And these are not very nice emotions when people treat us like that. But when we react, we're creating even more conflict, and we may make the situation a lot worse than it already is. How many times have we all looked back wishing that we could go back in time and have done something differently or said something differently? And generally it's because we reacted, we didn't stop and think. So with responding as opposed to reacting, it is a slower, more conscious way of being able to manage your situation. With reacting, it's just pure emotion. We're acting out of pure emotion. With responding, however, it's emotion melded with thought and rationale. And when we are responding, it's a slower, more calm way of dealing with the situation, and we will find solutions, and it benefits everybody around us. So I've been asked, but how do you manage a situation when somebody is insulting you? Well, a lot of the time, just understanding that the person insulting us is really projecting how they feel about themselves. And if we take a deep breath and we step back and we just stay calm, it can actually help the other person that is angry and frustrated become calm also, and we may be able to find a solution out of that argument. Also, a lot of the time we react out of feeling an expectation of somebody that is very important to us, like a boss. So say for example you are asked to give a boss information about something and you don't have it at that moment. If you react out of fear, you may give wrong information to whoever's asking you, and that will shed a very negative light on you later in the future. So a lot of the time we can respond by saying, actually, that's a really good question. Let me get back to you a little later about that. And this way you're going to be able to come back with a concise, calm, informed piece of information that will make you look a lot better. I had a colleague a long time ago when I was teaching, and I was teaching an advanced grammar class for the very first time, and I was very nervous. And a teacher said to me, when one of the students asks you a question, don't always feel the need to answer it, especially when it's not on topic within the class that you've prepared. Just give it as a project for them to do at home, so that when they come back to the next lesson, you can cover it in the lesson. Because we're not always going to be prepared for every question thrown at us. And I've applied that to my life because it was very good advice as a teacher. For all those teachers out there, you know that in advanced classes, the students will always try and test your knowledge. One of my students recently gave me a very nice example of reacting and responding. She was traveling from Switzerland over the French border into France in a remote little village, and she had taken a particular bus that goes over the border quite a number of times, but on this particular day the bus stopped at an impromptu stop and told her that that is as far as the bus was going. So she had a 4-kilometer walk on a very, very dangerous road with fast traffic passing by, and she didn't know what to do. So of course the emotion came up of fear, frustration, what am I going to do? And she got off the bus and said, okay, I'm going to accept the situation. I'm going to respond to it. So she felt very positive about the fact that she was wearing flat shoes that day, that she was able to do the walk in comfort. She felt good that her wheelie trolley that she had with her was going to be visible before she was, so that the oncoming cars could see her. And she decided to look up at the sun and the clouds passing by and feel glad that at least it wasn't raining and that she had plenty of daylight in order to arrive at her destination. And as she decided to respond to the situation this way, within 10 minutes of walking, a car pulled in front of her and a lady got out and offered her a lift. So they were chatting like long lost friends in the car, which for her was quite unusual with a stranger. And when they got chatting, she said, I'd like to know why you stopped and picked me up. And the lady said, my son walks this road every single day and nobody ever stops to pick him up. And I thought if I give a gift to you, maybe one day someone will give a gift to him. Not only was this a wonderful experience after responding and having a solution arrive from the universe, but this lady actually was going to the same village over the border that she was going to. So sometimes when we decide to pause and take a deep breath and allow ourselves to look at the situation, the bigger picture of the situation, we can have solutions. So when you're going through a situation that you're normally reactive in, ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow, a week, a month, a year from now? Generally the answer will be no. Therefore it's not necessary to get engrossed in any kind of conflict with another person about it. Also ask yourself, what is the trigger? What is this person triggering in me? Is it a negative limiting belief that you have about yourself that you need to heal? Is it feelings of betrayal that is the trigger for you? Stop and think about what the trigger is so you can reframe this situation into a positive learning experience of something that you need to heal within yourself. At the end of the day, remember one thing. It is not the situation that is going on outside of you that really is the issue. It's our fixation, our belief system, and our expectations of others and situations that really is what trips us up. So I hope this is very helpful and useful for you. Try to pause, take a breath, and allow yourself to respond more than react in your life, and you will see a lot of very, very positive solutions and meaningful lessons come from it.